Welcome to the Women in Leadership Body, Mind, Soul, and Business podcast. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Heather. And together we are working to connect women in leadership and business to build relationships, empowering each other, improving the health and wellness of our community, body, mind, and soul, sharing the heart and soul of who we are and what we do.
Today's guest is the amazing and incredible blogger extraordinaire, fill-in co-host. We just love her to pieces.
Empowerment specialist.
Empowerment specialist, Amanda Holler from Momming School. Hi. So Amanda, we have the topic this week of cleanliness, and I know that this is like your jam. So let's talk about cleanliness for a little bit.
Well, I think we jump in a little bit. Let's like, what if someone is tuning in for the very first time today and they have never met Amanda?
I forgot that part. Okay.
What if they didn't know what it meant to be a blogger? What does that mean? Could you tell us, Amanda, a little bit about what you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks for having me on again as a guest. I love coming on and seeing my ladies. So yeah, like she said, my name's Amanda. I decided to start a blog, which is essentially, if you don't know what a blog is, it is like my own little piece of real estate in the virtual web where I can talk about whatever the heck I want. That's kind of what I do in my everyday life, is talk about whatever the heck I want. I'm definitely a person who wants to help people. That's where my bucket gets filled, is by helping fill other buckets. But the buckets have to be labeled, okay? Because labeling is life. That is a thing for sure. I went from making, I think the biggest check I got when I was selling vehicles in the auto world was about $1,800 for a week. That was the most money I'd ever made with not having any kind of college degree or further schooling, to COVID hitting and kicking me in the pants and keeping me home. And then on top of that, I had a semi-emergency hysterectomy that came with a very unexpected pulmonary embolism that further kicked me into the dirt. And luckily not 6 feet into the dirt, because that's a real thing that could have happened, I'm learning. And I decided to take my brother-in-law's advice, who's almost more blunt than I am, and start blogging. And blogging is a lot like journaling. And so I picked the thing that I liked the most, and that was decluttering and cleaning and re-owning spaces. And it's something that I feel like you never finish, just like you never finish bettering yourself or your family or your wealth. And there's always a new technique or a new whatever. And so I just hop on there and I talk about that. I've talked about homeschooling my kids for the first time. Mm-hmm. I talk about recipes I love, because I love food. Damn it, do I love food. Right?
I used to pat my belly and be like, I gotta see in nutrition. Right? In college. Which is chemistry, just in case you didn't know.
Right?
Right. Like, yes. Wow. I like that the mindset that it's not something that's like one and done.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I think we think that a lot of
it's
times.
Part of it's a continued process. It takes upkeep. Mm-hmm. You know, you have to diligently work at it like a daily practice.
Nice.
All the time, right? So
that's great. That's perfect. Segue into Saucha.
Right. Okay. So Saucha Cleanliness is our jam this week, and it's your jam. And there's some ways and some tools that you use when you're cleaning, and I will let you talk all about it. So go for it.
Yeah, so one of the first posts I ever did when I started my blog, for those of you that don't know, it's called Momming School. I don't know that it's grammatically correct, but I also don't care.
Well, I think that's part of what is amazing
personality.
about you just being yourself. You write your
Yeah.
blog the way you talk. So that means that
Yeah.
it doesn't need to be grammatically correct because you're just showing
Mhm.
up authentically as yourself online, which is super refreshing.
Mhm.
You know, there
Thank
it
you.
isn't this like well-written college piece blog. Like
Right.
that's not
Yeah.
what I want to read, right?
You
Like
you can
spend all day reading that, right?
you can feel Amanda's personality when you read these articles. It's awesome.
Here's the thing, guys. I don't have time to write a college essay on cleaning. Okay.
So it's not like some boring. Yeah, basically that's what we're telling you. It's not boring.
Yeah, I always say, Mom ain't got time for that. So one of the first things I talk about, and this is something that I learned from some other bloggers, right? Because just like anything in life, just like on the podcast, we've learned so much from Lynn.
Yeah.
Who does podcasting. We've learned things from, the listeners that are like, this part takes too long. So we cut that part out and we have Charlie read the weekly reading in a separate YouTube video. You know what I mean? You learn things as you go.
Yeah.
You pick up pieces and parts from other people and then you make them your own, right?
Right.
And I think that's a misconception people have is that like, oh, somebody already does that, so I can't do it. To hell you can't, okay? Because you're not them and you can do Mama Holler says you can do it, okay? So go do it. So,
excellent. If you need permission, Mama Holler gave you permission today.
I'll give you permission. So the few things that I consider a must-have when you go to start cleaning or start decluttering, I tease now that you need an apron because I love aprons and I wear them all the time, whether I'm cooking or cleaning. And part of that is because they have pockets.
Ooh, so you need something with pockets, right?
You need, and not just pants, because here's the thing, when you have to pee in the middle of cleaning and you take the apron off, the things are still in the pockets. They don't fall into the toilet, guys. If you've ever lost a phone to a toilet, you know what I mean.
I remember the first phone call I got from my stepson. It was like a text message because from the computer, because he's like, I can't call you because I dropped my phone in the toilet. I was like, how in the world did you do that? Like your phone shouldn't be in the bathroom. But I'm like, oh, it fell out of your pockets. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's the worst.
So I always have my apron with my phone in my pouch. And the other thing I always
see a little kangaroo.
I'm doing hand motions like I'm Kanga. And a Sharpie. You need black garbage bags and a microfiber cloth and a labeler. Like if you have those things and a box is great, but you can always use white bags too. So the reason you need these things as you're cleaning out a space. So I recently had to do my bathroom again because we're getting ready to sell it. And so I'm like, okay, we don't need these things. And I grabbed my little bin and it went in a box. And for the first time in my entire life, I could just grab a little bin and put it in a box. I did not have to check to see if there's expiration dates because I've already done this, right? I didn't have to go through and be like, okay, well, we have 3 thermometers. We only need maybe 1, 2 at the most, right? This is donate or get rid of. So when you're starting though, the microfiber cloth, I always have one half that's damp and I try to keep the other half somewhat dry so that as I'm pulling my bins out or I'm pulling the things out to check the dates, I can wipe it out real quick. And then
wipe out the cabinet.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
And the reason I use microfiber, of course I have a preference with microfiber and because I'm just weird like that, but I will tell you there are people out there who can't stand microfiber and it's a texture thing. And my sister is one of them. Do you
have a suggestion for that texture issue? Because I'm a texture, like, because it feels to me like it's like grabbing my skin and it creeps me out. I
Just
mean,
like
because that's,
skin velvet.
Yes.
yeah, and like, because I do a lot of tactile things with my hands, they're super
Mhm.
sensitive. Like I have heightened
Mhm.
touch sensitivity. So,
Right. So the microfiber I use is through Norwex. And Norwex, you cannot find it in the store. You have to find a dealer.
This is the back alley of cleaning
Right.
supplies.
Yeah, Norwex has been around forever, and basically they're just they are a at-home party company. I don't know that they do a ton of them anymore, but there are consultants out there that do them. So if you need a hookup to Norwex, just message me and I can help you with that. But I like the microfiber because it does exactly what you just said, Heather. It grabs the things. No, it's not going to grab you and take you to, what am I trying to say?
Disneyland?
The labyrinth.
Okay, the
Okay, you're
labyrinth.
you're not gonna see. Oh, what was the guy's name that played Labyrinth? What was his name? It wasn't David Bowie.
It was David
David
Bowie.
Bowie.
Yeah, it
Was
is
it David Bowie? Okay,
Yes.
yeah. You won't get to see him, but anyway, that was a
Aw.
stupid joke that went wrong. So anyhow,
it'll be better in print.
The microfiber grabs the dust and it stays in your rag.
Mhm.
So until you go to the sink to rinse it out, and this is why I say I try to keep half of it dry, because it only happens for the first like maybe 45 minutes, and after that it's like the whole thing's wet.
Yeah.
But once you take it to a sink with warm water and rub it against each other, and all of the dirt and grime falls out of it, you squeeze it out, and then you can go do the next area.
Do you think that the quality of the one that you get from Norwex is like so different from like what you're getting
Yes.
at the dollar store?
Oh my
that
God.
actually the
Yeah.
texture difference might be that it's so cheap at the dollar store?
Yes. Not all
So-
microfiber is equal, and I promise you, it is like most things, you get what you pay for. So but I will say that I do have dollar store ones in my house because they're only $1, and if I mess them up, then I can throw it away and I'm not that upset about it. And so I do the microfiber, and then the black bags is because if you go to your bedroom or your kids' playroom or your kids' room, let's be 100% real, you go through your husband's stuff and he's not gonna miss that shit, and your kids aren't gonna miss that shit. They can't see in a black garbage bag, my friends. And when that black garbage bag goes to the car or it goes to the garbage, guess what? Nobody knows it's gone.
That's so rad. That's like the biggest secret ever. Because I remember that once my mom did a big clean out of my room, right? And then I saw like my one favorite doll like squished against the plastic. Like this is the image that I have. I'm like, my dolly. I'm like, I probably haven't touched it in a year. Like I remember that feeling. Like, my dolly.
Yeah.
No.
So, and then the Sharpie is just, if you don't have boxes, then you can always just get the white garbage bags and write on there donate, or I sometimes will even write on a piece of paper donate, and I tape it to the bag if I don't have boxes, So, the thing
clearly labeling so that this is
Yes.
trash, this is stuff I can
Yes.
donate, which helps us feel better, right? Like as we're purging stuff and going through things, like it feels better to give it away than it does to just throw our crap away, right? Like,
and then you know what bag goes where, like what bag or bin or box goes where. So
and then you're not having to like open it and look at it again and then make a
I don't
decision.
know.
Was this the trash bag or was this the donate bag, or does this go to my sister? Like, what bag is it?
Yeah.
Like, just label it.
And to be honest, the more times you have to touch something and mess with it, you're probably going to change your mind and go with your first gut feeling. If you haven't used it or you're not wearing it, or, my biggest one, I've gone through my clothes, and we've talked about this on the podcast before. I went through my clothes the first time. I got rid of probably half a garbage bag worth of clothes. Then I went through my clothes about 2 months later because I'm like, okay, well, now that all my laundry's done, because I hang up all my shirts except for like my pajama tops, right? And I said, oh my gosh, this thing is like full. Like I'm having a hard time like finding what I think I still have, right? And I did still have, I had too much stuff. So I went through the clothes again, got rid of another half garbage bag. So I went from having, let's just say in total, all of my clothes at the beginning of the year, I probably had 8 garbage bags, like hefty garbage bags, kitchen garbage bags full of clothes. I can fit all of my clothes folded, not just crammed in there, but folded neatly in one garbage bag. And there's only been one sweater where I was like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have gotten rid of that one. One out of 7 freaking garbage bags. You know? So
and now it's
same thing
easier
with
for you to
shoes.
decide what to wear too,
Mhm.
right? Because you can see
Yes.
it, like I want to wear it, and then your laundry pile isn't as huge.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think that's something too, that like living in a house versus like apartment living, like where you have to go out and wash your laundry. Like when you have your own washer and dryer, it's so awesome that you can just like actually be like really current on the laundry.
Mhm.
You don't need as
Mhm.
many clothes. You don't need as many towels.
This
you
is
don't,
true.
yeah, like
This is
Yeah.
true because I don't actually own a lot of clothes. If you look in my closet, I have like 12 pairs of like yoga pants. I have like
no way.
3 pairs of jeans, 4 pairs of shirts. I have like a dozen tank tops because I wear them under everything. And
Yeah.
like I have a hoodie hoarding problem is all. I have like 15 of
hoodie hoarding?
those. And then I have
Love
like
that.
5 or 6 like other like nicer shirts. I have 2 dresses. They're both black. And you know, I just don't have a whole lot of clothes, but I, you know, yeah, I have laundry here at my house. And so I just keep my laundry done. And then it's great for Heather because she just brings her laundry over when and
That's
does
been
it while
such
we
a
work.
blessing. Like, because
Yeah.
the laundry would give me such anxiety, and we would store it in the bathroom because it's the biggest. There's no really laundry room in our apartment, and
Right.
we would store it in the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom to use the bathroom or get ready, and I would just feel incredible amount of anxiety. And I already
Mhm.
have like my PTSD with showers and medical trauma and stuff. And I think there's something else, but that's coming. And so I'm like already anxious being in my bathroom. And then the laundry, I would like go into like full panic attacks and I wouldn't even know
Yeah.
like what was happening. And so
Mhm.
now it's like, oh, I've created this
She
piece.
was like super stressing about it. I was like, just bring your laundry over and wash it while you're here.
Because they're like the
She's like,
stress of
"Oh."
quarters of physically I didn't used to be able to even bend over and do my own laundry, like so I would have
Mhm.
to be the stress of having my teenager help me with laundry, and then the stress of what that does for him, and like like
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah.
goodness, like there was
Yeah.
this huge thing, and now it's just so simple and
Right.
caught up.
Right.
It's organized, like I don't need as many things, so that's super great.
Anyway.
So, I think one of my favorite tips I got about getting ready and clothes was from Tracy Oberg. She shared that like when you take out like 5 outfits to try on for work, taking that minute 10 seconds and putting them back away, like
The ones you choose
Mhm.
not
yeah,
to wear.
like that has made a huge difference just in like when I come home from work, like that mess isn't there, right?
Mhm.
Like it's such a
Right.
gift to yourself to like clean up after yourself as you go. Like
Yeah.
I now will thank myself for doing it because I'm like, hey, my bed's made. This is so comfy. Thank you, self. Like
Right.
it's just like so cool.
Well,
like,
and isn't it funny too how like that is such a simple thing, and for probably most people out there, they're like, well, that's an well, I shouldn't say that. I should not say for most people because I don't know for sure. I would tell myself, most people know, Amanda, to just put their stuff away. You did the laundry. They all know that you just put it away when you're done. Now, do they do that though? I don't know. I feel like I put the pressure on myself, especially through social media where they're like, oh my God, obviously they put their stuff away. Oh my goodness. I am like, and you just start that negative self-talk. But I will
Never
tell
mind that
you-
it's this one clean corner. If you saw on the other side of the
Yeah.
camera, like what's
Yeah.
really happening, like that's why we show up authentically,
Right.
because
Right.
like there's life is messy and lives. You have to have the reset times, and I think that
Right.
with Saucha specifically, it's like that golden rule of like leaving an area better than you left it.
Mhm.
Right. And you had mentioned that. So I'm going to finish this part and then I'm going to come back to what you just said, because
Okay.
you said something last time I was on that has stuck with me. And it's kind of a silly thing, but it totally makes a difference. So anyway, with putting things away, I had listened to, her name is Cass, she's from Canada, and she has the infamous Clutter Bug. And if you don't know what kind of an organizer you are, go to momming school. Her link is there. There is even, here is a little insider tip. There is a link to her Kindle, which is free. Her book is free on Kindle through my website.
What?
And she takes personalities and gives them a bug. So there's like a ladybug, there's a butterfly, I think there's a caterpillar. Then you take a short quiz and you figure out what your organizing style is.
Oh,
And through that, yeah, it's so
I've been trialing airing this for literally years. Like, I can just go take a quiz. I'm totally taking a quiz. I'm taking the quiz. We all need to post our quiz results.
Right. So once you take your quiz and you figure out what your organizing style is, then it's kind of this aha moment. So I realized where I like to see some of my things, but I like to see them pretty.
Mhm.
My husband, I realized, doesn't want to see the things. So we recently redid our countertops and they're bare. I mean, I can't have anything on my countertops, right? Because we painted them, so they're still like processing. And I can tell he likes that there is not a single iota on that counter, right? Whereas I am like, but I need my this there and my cute little fruit basket and my this, you know what I mean? So we have to figure out as a couple, how do we make nothing and pretty everything come together and not create chaos in our life.
Right.
And sometimes that's really difficult. But I will say that this is the tip I learned from her. If you can do it in 30 seconds or less, you do it now. If you can do it in 30 seconds or less. So if you are folding the laundry and you see that there's 6 pairs probably of socks, but if you're like me, for whatever reason, I hate folding socks. They'll sit on the couch forever. Then the couch eats them and I go buy more socks. I
have a sock basket. That's where the socks go.
I love to sort socks, but that's another subject. I'll be happy to do sock sorting and folding for you if you need me to. I don't know. I have a weird sock thing.
That is so funny. We had at one point a Rubbermaid bucket that you would store Christmas ornaments in, overflowing with socks.
Oh, that's cute. And that's like golden.
Oh my God. My mother-in-law one time, when she was babysitting, she folded all the socks for me and it took her 3 hours to find all the matches. She's like, I don't ever want to see that basket look like that again. And I'm like, yeah, I don't either. But guess what? In like 2 weeks, that basket was right back to where it was.
There's how many? 5 of you in the house? Yeah.
There's 6 of us.
6 of, okay, I couldn't math that fast. 6 of you in the house. And like, that's like, if you only ward only had on a pair of socks, 1 pair a day. I mean, that's a lot of socks.
Right.
So that's like 12 socks a day. And that's not even counting. I mean, we live in rural world where we, are going to change our socks sometimes multiple times a day because we wore the wrong pair of shoes outside and it rained for 5 minutes while we were outside,
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, the math of the sock multiplication is huge.
Yeah. Socks multiply like rabbits and fleas at my house. We have fleas around, but you know what I mean.
All right.
I-
Well, we
I
want
had
to
to tell
wrap up
myself-
this episode soon. So I know you have a couple more things you wanted to get out.
Yeah. So 30 seconds or less, just do it. You'll thank me later. The thing you said though, Heather, was leaving a place better than when you got there. So you had mentioned that when you would go to the restroom and wash your hands and dry your hands off with the paper towel, you would use the paper towel or get a new one real quick and you'd wipe the sink off. So I started doing that. And I had a gal look at me really weird in the women's
Sometimes you do. I didn't talk about that, did I?
She was trying to process, I think, like,
What the frick
why
are
is
you
this
doing?
random woman cleaning the bathroom? And I was like, I said, what did I say to her? I looked at her and I said, don't worry, I don't work here. I'm just a mom doing the things. And then I said, oh shit, I said, I'm just. And I turned back around and I opened the bathroom door and I said, Mama taught me how to I said, Mama taught me to keep things clean. And my girlfriends taught me to keep the bathroom cleaner than when I left it. And she was like, okay.
I'm so proud of you for acknowledging that you justed yourself.
Mhm.
Like I'm
Yeah.
so proud of you for acknowledging that because we've been talking a lot about that.
Mhm.
And I always love coming together with you and talking. We always have amazing conversations.
Always. It's always
and
fun.
We really appreciate you and we appreciate you
Aw.
like so much. I can't like think of another word to like describe like how much we appreciate you. Like I feel like that's
Aw,
not like
thank
big
you.
enough of a word. And
We're so happy that you're like really part of our team, not just our table, and we really appreciate everything that you do with us and for us. We always enjoy spending time with you. So thank you so much.
Aw, thank you also. I appreciate you guys and like spending time with you. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't be here.
right, exactly right.
Right.
And to our audience, we want to say thank you for listening today. And we hope that you got a few really amazing nuggets. I have a ton of notes for myself. And we'll be dropping all of the links everywhere. Be sure to go to the website www.womeninleadership.bsmb.com to stay current on all the amazing stuff we're doing.
And last but not least, make sure you check out the Boogie Bin, our cause of the quarter this quarter. Donate your gently used pet supplies and have them go to Pets in Need. All of their information will be in the links in the description. So check it out.
Thank you so
Awesome.
much, everyone, for joining us today.
We appreciate you. We love you.
Namaste.
Namaste.